Good morning, good evening, all across the world. I'm your host, Mad Max, and this is Mental Madness, guys. It's crazy fucking world out there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Um, I haven't done an episode in a while. Been really kind of occupied with the holidays and my family, which is really important. I think everybody should spend time with their family. You know, it's something that you take for granted, because you've been around them all your life and you kind of just push them off. But in the end, family is really the only thing that's going to get you through the things that you need to get through personally. And I say that from experience, and I've had a pretty rough life up till this point. Like I said, I've served 8 years in the military, 2 combat tours to Iraq, and other combat tours that I can't really discuss. But it's not so much the fact that I've done these things. It's the awakening process that's happened to me during these things, and the things that I saw, and the things that I took part in, and I debated in my own consciousness whether these were right or wrong things to do, whether I was ordered to do them or not. You know. So I do care about my country, and I love my country, and I love who I am and where I come from, and I love everyone as a whole. Not the same way that I love my children, but I do love human beings. I love the fact that we exist. I love the fact that I get to share my knowledge, and you get to share your knowledge with me. I think that's what this life is about, to experience other self. And other self is what the Creator decided to do, I believe, personally. If the Creator is alone, it's kind of a lonely place. The only way, He created us in order to create other self so that He could love us, just like we create our children to have a family and be a part of something, And I think the same principle applies to the Creator, in the sense that, maybe we are just microscopic beings on the scales of understanding, but He still loves us. He still created us, regardless of that fact. We're here, we exist right now, and what are we going to do with this existence? And most of the time, most people don't ask these questions. What am I going to do with my existence in this physical vessel that I'm traveling in time and space in? And this body that allows me to express consciousness, this physical vessel that transports my thoughts and allows me to express them in a physical manifestation. And I know it sounds, lunatic fringe to some, but a lot of us have been doing a lot of soul searching. And it's not just me. I'm a disabled veteran. There's a lot of disabled veterans out there who aren't even asking these questions, but a lot of them are, because they've experienced the outside bubble of the hypnotic state of America. And they know the price of war. They know the toll of doing something hard. And I personally didn't get it as bad as some soldiers over there did. So, but we had our moments where we were in firefights and car bombs blowing up literally next to us, injuring our people and killing our guys. I mean, we're not fucking over there to be police officers. We're over there to take out bad guys and get the fuck out. Period. And when we go over there and be police officers, and I feel bad for those people, because I wish they had enough courage to stand up against the tyrants. You are going to have to lose and sacrifice some things in order to make change happen. And it sucks. And sometimes you don't want to even bother doing it because of that simple fact that you have to make the sacrifices. And it's even for myself, I have problems making, cutting some of the things I do, which I'm working very hard on. And I need to gather that an energetic mental pattern, a repetitive, habitual pattern of doing the right thing and not doing the wrong thing. Thinking before I act, shit like that, you know? But I'm not going to be perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Nobody expects me to be perfect, because if they do, then, you know, then there's going to be problems, because we were created imperfectly for a reason. It's what creates the imbalance, the chemical romance, it's what draws opposites attract, you know. It's the positive and negative must exist. I mean, period. In this density, at least. And I ain't even get into the physics. Today we're going to be talking about government cover-ups. Because right now, we are seeing one of the biggest government cover-ups in history. All of history. And there's a lot to say about the people on the West Coast, for sure. I'm not saying that if you live on the West Coast, you're fixing to die. But what I am fixing to tell you is going to be very scary. And the government has been covering it up. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but there is proof. Do the research yourself. The radiation levels on the west coast of California, and the west coast of Oregon, the west coast of Washington, are up by 1,400%. Dangerously high than normal. Not deadly. You're not going to walk around and die. But over long time exposure, yes, it will cause major birth defects. It will cause major mutations, which we are seeing on the beaches. Mutated whales washing up on shore. Mutated creatures washing on shore. The Fukushima Daiichi plant is by far one of the biggest cover-ups by the federal government, by the whole New World Order, we'll put it that way. And they are stock loading. If you look this up, there's evidence, there's research, and there's proof. The government has just bought 14 million bottles of these. And this, my friend, not exactly this bottle, but this is nascent iodine. This, everybody on the West Coast should have nascent iodine. It doesn't have to be this kind, but this kind I suggest. InfoWars, Survival Shield, nascent iodine. And I'm not promoting for them. I'm promoting the fact that people are going to die if they don't start stocking up on this stuff. Or babies will be mutatedly deformed upon birth. Or you will die of cancerous causes, very early age. You need to protect your children. You need to protect yourself. And get some iodine. The government just bought 14 million bottles of this. Why would the government all of a sudden buy 14 million bottles of this after they just found out that there's a 1,400% radiation increase on the west coast of California? Take it, folks. It's going to save you. It's going to protect your thyroid. It's going to protect you and detoxify you from radiation. I highly suggest that everybody on the west coast does this. Or get out of Dodge. Period. Nuclear fallout is no fucking joke. Disgusting, folks. What the fuck is going on? Disgusting. 1,400% increase in toxic radiation exposure. And the government's like, oh, it's no big deal, guys. There's nothing there. No, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. Eugenics at its finest. Let's just kill them all. You call me a fucking conspiracy theorist? Go do the research yourself. Go take a Geiger over to the West Coast, or whatever the fuck you call it, one of those radiation detectors. Take it over to the West Coast on the beach, and do your own motherfucking reading. And tell me something ain't up. Okay, so next topic. Okay, that's just one fucked up mental madness bullshit. Fluoride. Hydrofluorosilicic acid. Fluoride. Terrible. It's in your toothpaste, and they poison you with it in your drinking water. There are problems that people don't even realize are going on. And they wonder why people are getting stupider and getting lazier and getting fatter. It's because the fucking poison they're feeding you. Period. You must accept it. You know, the government is good. There are good people in the government. Don't get me wrong. I'm not twisting this up and blaming the whole government for all of this shit. Okay? Because some people have their arms twisted in government by other more powerful people. And I know how compartmentalized the government is and how it operates. And many other veterans do as well. And they see right through the fucking bullshit. Okay? Detoxify the fucking water. Defluoride the water. It's killing you. It's killing your children. And if you don't wake the fuck up, you're going to die an early death of cancer or some diabetic fucking bullshit disease. If it's not too late from Fukushima, I mean, come the fuck on. If you don't have this $25 bottle of iodine, you need to go buy it. You need to buy like 20 bottles of this shit. You need to stock up on it. So I'm going to tell you what, folks. It's going to come a time when you're going to wish you did buy it. And I hope for everybody's sake, and I hope and pray to the Creator that we can find a way to fix this problem. But, you know, I don't see that happening. And I hope that people go and prepare themselves and protect themselves. You call me a prophet? No. I fucking researched it. There are people telling me that they're on the beach with meters saying, oh, look at this 340 reading on my meter. It's 1,400% higher than normal. 1,200% higher than normal. These are just the first radiation wave spikes coming from the fucking Japan reactors. People all over Japan are dying. Cancer and just melting away. Just radiating. Just fucking destroying themselves. They might have to evacuate Japan, the whole fucking country. I mean, come on, folks. Why are we not cleaning this up? Why are we not sacrificing our lives to clean this up? Why is the government not sacrificing our dollars and our lives? A few people may die to go in there and clean this shit up, but you know what? It may take a brave scientist or a nuclear physicist to go in there and fix that shit. And he'll be a hero for saving the world. You know, I'm not saying that the situation is that bad. I'm saying that it's bad enough to where we're getting 1,400% readings over the normal radiation levels in California and all up along the West Coast. I don't want to die. I don't want you to die. I don't want your children to die. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want your children to suffer, man. Whether you're gay, straight, black, white, purple, gray, Muslim, Christian, I don't care. As long as you're a good person, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, man. That's the way fucking life's supposed to be. You respect me, I respect you. You do your fucking thing, I do mine. Period. Infringement upon free will. You know, and we're always going to have those assholes who have those asshole moments. Like, fuck off. Get away from me. Fuck you. You know, and that's just the way life is here in this density. But the government scandals with Chris Christie, obviously he's clearly lying out his fucking ass. He had no idea. Political retribution. Come on. This is the Chris Christie government scandal about the lane closures right now is a prime example of everyday corrupt government. Oh, you didn't endorse me? Well, here you go. You're gonna pay the fucking piper. Oh, you didn't vote for me? Oh, okay. I got you, motherfucker. You know, that's mental madness bullshit, folks. Playing with your life, playing with your money, playing with your resources, playing with your ideas, playing with your fucking your inventions, your creations, your ideologies, your religions. You know, and we don't need to take it to a violent level. What we need to do is educate people and get on every doorstep of every political office and force them through peaceful measures, surround them, and empower them with knowledge and information of truth and liberty and justice. Are we all going to be truthful all the time? No. But damn it, when it comes down to the toughest, most fucking important things to this country, we need to have open debates as human beings, as mankind, about how to handle situations, and in the right way. And if the right way is sending a few scientists in to kill themselves in order to clean this fucking reactor up, then they gotta do it. I'm sorry. Don't send homeless poor people from Japan off the street in there to do some bull. You know what? That story pissed me the fuck off. Picking up homeless people and sending them into the Fukushima Daiichi plant to help clean up. Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking authoritarian, tyrannical, dictator bullshit fucks. I'm tired of it. People have hearts. People have souls, and you're eating them, and you're destroying them. And you need to wake up, people. Because without passion, without willingness to do something, then you're not gonna, you know, I can't do much as a disabled veteran. I don't have the political influence. I don't have the financial influence. And, you know, I wish I could have those things. I wish I could change the world. But I know there would be somebody evil along the way to stop me. But the question is, if I was offered the opportunity, would I do it anyways? And I would say yes. And I would actually do the right thing regardless of who the fuck ever decided they want to come in and run their fucking mouth to me. Because the right thing is not what I want or what they want or what, you know, it's what the people wants. You know, the state wants. State makes a vote, cannabis is legal. Cannabis is legal in that state. Shut the fuck up. Move along. You know, and it sucks. Sometimes laws suck. If you don't like it, move somewhere else. That's what's great about the United States. Period. And, you know, I don't like some of the laws of my own state. And, you know, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and bitch about the laws that already exist. I will, however, be, what's it called, civil disobedient about things to make a political statement. Well, and peacefully, obviously, be a civil disobedient person. I mean, you don't want to go around rioting and looting. I mean, this is not things that are going to get you what you want. And you know, it will get you what you want for a short period of time, but in the end, you're going to fucking die. You know, if you're a gangster and you're a thug, and all you do is steal, rob, and murder from people, and in the end, you may have a lot of cool things for a short period of time. But if you worked hard all life and got the money the right way, you might actually be able to invest it in other things which will make you wealthy, or which will, increase your status. And I'm just saying that there's a reason why the hard path is the right path. And, I'm just one person. If you get out there and you send your message of shit that you've seen or shit that you know is going on, and share it with your friends on your Facebook and on your YouTube channel, and just spread the word that these things are happening. You can't let this happen to your future children, or your children that you currently have, or your children's children, or even yourself. Very few selective people in government, the dark cabal, I call them, or many other people call them, the cabal. Very high, rich, powerful, fucking private bankster motherfuckers. Okay? Who could give two shits about veterans as long as they fight their dirty fucking wars for them. That's all they want. And I'm sorry to tell you right fucking now. Back in the day, when a soldier was a soldier, he was recognized as a soldier. And it was a proud thing to be a soldier. Now you see homeless veterans just fucking sitting there like, what? There's 2% of all the Americans have actually joined the military. You can't take care of 2% of the country. The veterans, the soldiers who fought for the fucking country. You can't take care of 2% of the country because you want to give welfare, food stamps to everybody. I'm sorry for those who like food stamps, and I don't think that you should get rid of the food stamp program. I just think that there are a lot of people working the system. And that the government has a lot more money than they say they do, and that we're not actually as broke as we think we are. Because the people who run our government, the dark cabal, steal and rob from fucking everybody. So, and then who's going to tell us to pay them back? Like China. Nobody's going to tell us to pay them back. They may ask, but if we say no, what are they going to do? Because we got evil motherfuckers that will destroy everything they love and care about on the push of a button. And that's reality, folks. It's mental fucking madness, but it's reality. And it may not affect you right now because you got to go to work and do your shit and take your kids to school and do their shit. But when the shit hits the fan, you will be asking yourself what the fuck is going on. Unless you enlighten yourself, you educate yourself, and you prepare yourself. Radiation poisoning is terrible. It's the worst thing you could ever experience almost. Please, 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 if it's not this type, any type of iodine, to detoxify your body. And I hope that it's enough. 1,400% is a vastly amount. And if the spikes get any higher, we could be talking really dangerous levels of radiation. We're already seeing mutated fish and animals washing all over the shores. So we see the effect in those animals, and you know it's going to affect us. Period. Birth defects, cancer rates through the roof. I mean, I'm talking about a possible evacuation of the entire West Coast. What the fuck? That's how bad this could get. It's scary, folks. I'm preparing you mentally for what may come. I'm not saying that it could get any worse or any better. I'm just saying it's a possibility, and the readings do show that it's 1,400% higher than normal there. And that if it could, you do your own research or come to your own conclusions, folks. I'm not fucking crazy. I'm not spitting bullshit. The government's taking your rights, your liberties. They're taking the right to have guns away from you. because they feel you were, you know, these leftist fucks, excuse my language. We have guns, we don't need no guns, this just creates violence, me, 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 me. Well, you haven't been in any situation where that gun may have saved your fucking life. From evil people who don't follow the rules with bad, you know. You gotta understand how the world works, folks. This is not a fairy tale fucking bubble we live in. Bad shit can and will still happen. And you need to be able to defend yourself against them. You can't have political bumper stickers in certain areas anymore. Your right to free speech is just being infringed upon on a daily basis. Your right to freedom of religion is being infringed upon on a daily basis. You're being wiretapped by the NSA on a daily basis. Everything you say, do, or think almost, and soon even think, will be recorded by the NSA. And these motherfuckers haven't been fired yet? I'm all for a small government that takes care of its people. I'm not for a government, a very, very large cabal of a government taking advantage of the systems and the people's resources and monies and ideas, and applying their own and manifesting their own ideas. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of seeing people struggle. I'm tired of seeing meth heads fucking stay meth heads because they can't find a good life. They're fucking stuck in this shitty bullshit life. Can't find, you know, and it all starts with early education, the mind warping system of education. You send your kids to a brainwashing school, literally, a brainwashing school. They map your whole paradox of your child's life from the day they go to kindergarten on. Your child's paradox completely changes the spirit. They lose all imagination, mostly. They start to lose imagination because they have to focus on meeting certain goals at certain times and having certain grades and doing all this and that and cramming all this shit. Even though they're really good at art, they force them to learn, math and all this science bullshit that they don't, basic stuff. Yes, you need to learn that stuff. But anything over, ordinary average knowledge, if they struggle at it, then you shouldn't work in that area of expertise with them. You should work in the areas where they're strong. If they're strong in art, then keep them in fucking art classes their whole life until they graduate art school. I mean, come on, folks. They just want you to pay for the extra classes. They want you to pay. And you can't pay. So if you can't pay, you're a crackhead at home with a fucking 7-Eleven job. With 4 fucking kids from different baby daddies. And it's sad. I fucking feel for you. I feel empathy for you. And I feel empathy for those who struggle on a daily basis just to live. But my spirit emanates. I feel the spirits of other people around me, whether they're angry or frustrated. And their energy emanates around them. It radiates. Creates major distortion fields. And right now, a lot of us are going through what's called mental madness. Very bad times. Very rough times. And the distortion fields are just pinging. Just pew, 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 pew. Probably pinging all the time now. Distortion fields, I won't get into what that is or what causes it, but it's pretty much when two people interact, either in a positive or a negative way. If it's a positive field, you probably call it a reinforcement field. But if it's a negative interaction, it would be a distortion field. So, you could have either gotten into a fight with a guy, or you could have just walked away. That's what I mean by a distortion field. And avoided going to jail, losing your job, but a bunch of shit could happen from one little tiny bubble of distortion. And just remember that. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to understand that life is not as simple as you think it is. It's not this fairy tale American bubble you live in. If you can think it, it's probably possible. I think, therefore I am. So, everything that we see and hear is already predetermined by our brain and sent signally to us about 5 seconds after our brain perceives it. And this is proven scientifically that it takes about 5 seconds for our brain sees and hears and observes 5 seconds before we actually do. So, it's like we're encoded with this information to know what it is, to sense it. And if people are starting to wake up and realize, hey, there's some shit going on, things are crazier than we thought they used to be. Maybe magic isn't as far as we thought it was. Maybe magic and science are one of a kind. Maybe ETs were gods. Instead of gods, they were extraterrestrials flying around a spacecraft with cool weapons and shit. I'm just saying. Does that take away a one true creation or creator? No, I don't think so. I think that with every action, there's a reaction. So there had to, like I created my daughter the same way the Creator created us. And whether it was a natural process or somebody created him, I don't know. Or it, I don't know. But I know that we are energetic beings at our core, and that everything is really just energy flowing through this physical body and vessel that you're in. A soul, an energetic soul, beingness, light beings trapped in these containers. And much like a robot that was created by mankind to do, program, and do what it tells it to do. And I'm not saying that to the extent, because that's the difference between us and a robot is free will. And free will is both a curse and a joyness. You see what I'm saying? Free will allows you to express you, but it also separates you from the Creator, which is the ultimate singularity. Super dense energy. You wouldn't even believe it. So if you would call the Creator anything, an energetic being, a massive amount of energy that became consciously aware. And I don't know exactly how that would work, and maybe when the Big Bang happened, it dispersed its energy, allowing us to even be alive. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe this happened. So when the Big Bang was just a singularity, or the universe was just a singularity, maybe that was the Creator in its true form. Just this insanely amount of energy that was so dense that it actually became intelligently aware. Or it just became so dense and so energetic that it dispersed itself, allowing life to happen. Either way, I call that a creator or a creation process. And I think that it was, if you look at the gamma ray maps of the universe, it clearly shows that there has to be intelligent information behind it. So we have to conclude that either we are byproducts of extraterrestrial beings, which, again, if there are extraterrestrial beings, it doesn't take away creator or creators. Freedom of religion is awesome. It gives me the idea that I can choose how I want to believe in the Creator or creators, or if I don't even want to believe at all. But I think that this life does have this experience is for a reason. And if by any chance there is an afterlife, I want to be prepared for that, And if there's not, then oh well. But if there is a chance that there's an afterlife, I'd like to be prepared for it. And I want you to be prepared for, the things that you do in this life. And I want you to protect yourself and your families from all the harm and evil that's just fucking warping and twisting your terrible fucking life that you're living right now. Because life could be so much grander than it is right now. And, to all you haters and trollers and thugs and people who don't grasp this shit, want to be hard and want to fucking hurt other people and steal and rob from other people, What goes around comes around. And it may not be in this lifetime, but I promise your actions will come back on you, and probably twofold. So I'm not, I'm not saying that there are people who don't get away with shit, because there are. There are people who get away with shit. They're good. They're sneaky. But there's one thing I will say, is that I really don't think that in the end, if they do die, they'll be able to get away with anything they've done in this life, if there is an afterlife. So, again, you have to ask yourself these questions. You know, if there is an afterlife, whether it be a God, whether it be Jesus, whether it be anything, but period, if there's an afterlife, period, if there's a chance that's going to happen, are you prepared for that? And are you, or have you, studied all the ways that you could and kept an open mind about how the universe works and studied the universe and put your heads and minds together with others and discussed these things? Because if you do, I promise you, if you sit down with you and your family, or you and your wife, or you and your significant other, and have these discussions about, well, what are they doing to me? Why am I drinking this water? Why did my grandpa get cancer? Why do I always feel sick when I eat this? Why is the government scandals going on? Why are people blowing up in bombs in Boston? Why are people fucking all over the world just terrible people? Why am I here? Where am I? What the fuck is going on? I'm not saying get crazy with it. I'm just saying realize the reality and the paradox that you live in. You're a slave to monetary control. You're a slave to the dollar just to survive. And if you had time, instead of slaving to survive, but actually surviving and slaving for knowledge, thirsting for knowledge and wisdom about who and what and where we are and what's going on and where we can go and who we can be as a mankind, as a being of consciousness that's miraculous. It's mental madness, folks, that people are walking into telephone poles while texting on their phones. It's mental madness, folks, that presidents can arrest people for murdering, and we can arrest people for murdering, but the president can drop bombs on a Syrian nation or an Iraqi nation and kill hundreds of thousands of innocent people at will. He's not a murderer. He's just doing the right thing, right? Killing people is the right thing, right? But if they're, and the government should, someone has to have the courage to stand up willingly and say, I'm going to go in there and clean up Fukushima. Nobody needs to force it upon them. That's the problem with mankind. We don't have the courage. We don't have the faith in our Creator. We don't have the faith in ourselves, and we'd rather protect ourselves than protect others. And instead of doing both, by protecting ourselves and others, sharing knowledge, sharing ideas of how to protect yourself, sharing ways like this that the government is not telling you why they bought 14 million bottles of nascent iodine, or iodine, potassium iodine. Oh, but they know. They know there's about to be a bunch of sick, fucking radiating, dying people over there. That's why they ordered 14 fucking million of them. Enough to cover that part of this fucking side of the country. I mean, come the fuck on. These motherfuckers are pig fucks. And they need to be strung up. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. No, they don't. They need to be exiled and banished to a faraway planet where they can spend time with each other. That's the humane thing to do. We don't fucking kill. We don't murder. We don't rob. We don't steal. These are the basic commandments that were given us to by a highly advanced beings, period, to survive as a species. Whether it's religion, whether it was some God who told us, whether it was angels who came down and gave it to us, whatever the fuck it was simple instructions for our civilization to survive as a beingness. And simple. Not many, you know. And then we warped it and twisted it with our own words later on. Bullshit. You know? Now we accept homosexuality, not saying that that's, you know, anybody's wrong choice. You have freedom of choice, freedom of will. But it's a eugenics program. It's designed to slow the population rate down on this planet. And it's working very well. So, if that's what you want, and that's the life you want to live, I'm all for it. You have that right and your free will to do so. And I'm not going to judge you for it. Because I'm not going to judge you. In the end, it's not going to be me who judges anybody. And I don't want to judge people. I'm here to inform people. But I do want to, there is a few select people I would really like to judge. Well, I wouldn't like to judge. I would like to see be judged by the people. And these are these people who are corrupt politicians, corrupt thug gangster fucks in our government and in private industries like banks, private banks, who are getting away with some of the most heinous crimes of mankind. Mankind! And I wouldn't be surprised if I was found dead somewhere. I would never kill myself, that's for sure. I would never, you know, there's nobody in my family that hates me. Not that I'm aware of, anyways. I'm a peaceful person. I stay indoors a lot. I don't like to interact with other people unless, unless there's something intelligent to talk about. I don't like to infringe upon other people's free will. And I don't like other people infringing their free will upon me. And I like to keep it that way. I suggest you homeschool your children if you can. And I suggest if you live anywhere near the West Coast or Central or even in the East Coast, because there's jet streams and that shit will eventually reach you, that you buy a bottle of something like this, either nascent iodine, potassium iodine, iodine of any sort, which they have started to completely take out of food and water anymore, and replace with hydrofluorosilicic acid. Now they want you to have sea salt, all these non-iodine forms, just so you die faster of cancer, instead of prolonging your life and letting you live longer. There's a reason why some people in the Bible live like thousands of fucking years. And now we only live 60 to 80 because of cancer and diabetes and fucking all kinds of bullshit. You're going to die an early death. It's just a known fact. While these rich, wealthy motherfuckers live forever. And they make sure that their bloodline lives on forever. And in healthy and in good state and always taken care of. You know? It's terrible. 6 drops a day may save you and your family's life. I'm definitely preparing myself and my family for it. I'm not on the West Coast, but I'm in the central area. And this stuff will definitely either save your life on the West Coast or stop you from having very poisonic reactions. I mean, literally, you're going to feel sick. I mean, there might be people starting to feel sick. There might be people getting deformities, children being born with more deformities, and people getting more cancer, like skyrocketing through the roof, probably. I'm just saying this may save you and it may protect you. It may not either. I don't know. It might be just too much. But what are you going to do? At least try to protect yourself. I'm warning you right now that be prepared. Anyways, that's what I got for today, folks. It is mental madness. I love the idea of sharing information and sharing knowledge. So if you got anything you want to share with me, please let me know. Any ideas? I know I curse a lot, but it's just something that I feel expresses sincerity. So anyways, I will let you guys go. I really hope that everybody takes what I say to heart and at least does their own research and comes to their own conclusions about this. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. You may have a different opinion. And if you do, I'd like to hear about it. But, you know, I've worked for the government. I've seen how they operate. And I know exactly what they're capable of and what they've done. And for some people, that's hard to grasp. Some of the things that I'm saying is hard to grasp because they never experienced anything outside of 9 to 5, go to school, have a husband, raise kids. But there is another world out there, and you definitely need to be aware of it. I'm your host, Mad Max. This is Mental Madness. Until next time, guys, I love you. See you next time.